p.m. on WROI Giant FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
Yes, it is Friday morning, and I'll go ahead and say it's a beautiful Friday morning. 35 degrees. It's time for the First Federal program, and we got Todd Van Sickle here with us this morning. Good morning, Todd.
Thank you, Paul. Good morning. It is a beautiful morning.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. It could be, like it was last Friday.
Or even like the last crazy couple of days. I mean,
Yeah.
It was the 50s yesterday. 50 degrees and 50-degree wind gusts.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we're looking at that again next week.
Okay, really? Okay.
Yeah, it kind of concerns me as we get to the end of February, what March is going to bring us.
Well, it is sectional basketball time for boys coming up.
Yes.
That usually means some weather's coming in, typically.
Yeah, I think it's coming.
Okay. March, in like a lion, sounds like, maybe.
Yes.
That's still a couple weeks away. Let's enjoy February.
Yeah, we'll enjoy the 50s that are coming next week.
It is winter weather still, though. And
Yes.
I learned something interesting this week.
Okay.
You know Jackie Johnson from Tidewater and
Yeah.
Pack a Backpack.
Yeah.
You know they have another program?
I did not.
Winter coats.
Oh, okay.
So they have a great supply of winter coats. There's still some winter weather in the forecast. We got some
There is.
20s in the next few days, right?
Yeah.
In the evenings, at least.
At least the evening, overnight, yeah.
So they have adults and kids coats. So they're giving those away for people that need winter coats to stay warm this winter. And
Okay.
they have a great supply. And if anybody's interested, or you know somebody that needs a winter coat, stop by Tidewater during their open hours. And now it's tax season. You get the advantage you're open Saturdays and Sundays even.
Oh, yeah.
So if you need a winter coat, stop by Jackie Johnson's group at Tidewater, and they'll be willing to give you a winter coat so you can stay warm the rest of the winter.
Yeah, do your taxes while you're there, too.
I just thought that was important for everybody to know, because talking to her, I don't think a lot of people realize that they have a winter coat.
I did not realize that.
So, Randy asked the question of the day, what are we doing this weekend? Well, it's Super Bowl weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Our guest today is Janet Showley from Fulton County. Make sure I say this right. It's a great title, Animal Education and Education Center.
Animal Adoption and Education.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I just blew that.
We just say Fulton County Animal Center sometimes.
But that name has a great purpose because it really defines what you do, and we'll talk more about that in the show. Mm-hmm. Anybody have Super Bowl plans this weekend?
No.
Just watch the game, eat some shoes.
Yeah, you got any Super Bowl?
Normally I do my taxes on Super Bowl and let my husband watch the game, but I already got taxes done, so maybe I'll watch halftime.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. One of the questions. What's your favorite part of the Super Bowl? Is it the game, the halftime, the ads?
Well, growing up, it was always the ads. Even if I wasn't interested in the teams, I'd stay up and watch the game just to see the ads. But now, they all get leaked early, so you can go see what they're going to be by, tomorrow night. So, no point in really watching it unless you're interested in halftime, which I personally am not.
Rihanna this year, right?
Yes.
I was kind of amazed at halftime. Usually I'm not very interested, but I watched it and thought, that was pretty entertaining sometimes,
Spectacle.
Yeah.
So Super Bowl weekend. Trivia today, according to the American Kennel Club, which of these 4 dog breeds has the highest rankings for adoptions? So Janet probably has a good idea on this one. We'll get to the answer later, but the potential answers are A, Beagles, B, Bulldogs, C, Poodles, and D, Corgis.
All right. I'm going to have to think.
Not what I would have guessed. Say those one more time.
Beagles, Bulldogs, Poodles, Corgis. And that's according to the American Kennel Club.
Okay.
And none of these are number 1, but they're all in the top 10. I just said out of these, which one ranks the highest.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, you didn't want to do number 1 because it gives it away.
Yeah.
What do you think's number 1, Janet?
Yeah.
Number 1 adopted a pit bull mix, just because there's more of them.
Yeah. Is that what the answer is?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then labs were up there, and some of the more real popular ones, which I knew he'd get, so we tried to throw him
Well,
curveballs.
Janet gets the Gold Star Award today.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do number 1 because I have 3 of those, so I would have guessed.
Right.
Tanner's trying to pull out some tricks to try to
He's doing everything he
put
can
ball
to stop me.
off base on this. Tanner's going to talk about sports today. Welcome, Tanner.
Take this microphone. Morning. Got a lot going on locally. Got basketball action tonight and tomorrow.
Yep.
Boys and girls going on. Rochester boys are at Wabash tonight. Should be a tough in-conference matchup. What time's pregame?
It's always best to tune in around 6:40, and it'll probably be somewhere between 6:40 and 7:30.
I have to ask you every week because sometimes teams have JV teams, sometimes they don't.
The guys, I think, both have JV, so we should get a full JV game. But again, those JV games could go very fast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's always
Depending
best.
on the amount of fouls and etc.
It's always best tune in early and stay late.
Well, around the area, we've still got some girls basketball teams in action. And Tippecanoe Valley is going to be playing Mishawaka Marion tomorrow. That game's at Jimtown. And then North Miami is going to be playing in Durand tomorrow.
All right.
So good luck to both of those teams. See if they can get their first regional championship in quite a while. For North Miami, I think it would be first in either quite a while or ever. Valley had one not too long ago. I don't remember the year off the top of my head, but
I don't
it wasn't too long ago because they played Rochester in the semi-state. That's how I remember that.
Oh, okay. So it was
Over
probably
Mercer.
after I graduated.
Yeah, it was after I graduated too. Got a lot of wrestling action going on this weekend.
Good.
See, Rochester is sending 10 wrestlers to the semi-state.
Yeah,
That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Pretty impressive. So good luck to those guys. Tippecanoe Valley sending 3, North Miami 5, and Winmac 1. So
All right.
a lot of talented wrestlers around the local area this year.
Yeah, so if you enjoy watching wrestling, go follow these guys.
And I know the Rochester wrestlers, they're semi-state from Fort Wayne. I'm not sure where Valley, North Miami, or Winmax is off the top of my head, but I know Rochester's at Fort Wayne.
Your schools will know, so call your schools if you want to follow them.
There you go. Well said. College basketball, we're starting to inch closer to March. Starting to see the conference title races kind of come into fruition here. All big Indiana schools are in action this weekend. Notre Dame's hosting Virginia Tech tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Not sure what TV station that's on. It might not be on TV. I couldn't find it on my app that I usually use. Butler's actually in action tonight. They host number 13 Xavier. That game's at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Indiana, who's on a red-hot streak, and I will admit defeat here, beat my Purdue Boilermakers last weekend in a pretty good game down in Bloomington.
Which one, the boys or the girls?
Well, the boys were in Bloomington, the girls were in West Lafayette, but yeah, they got a clean sweep. They do both play once again later this month each. So we'll see what happens there if they split or if IU gets a complete clean sweep there. Anyways, Indiana got a win earlier this week over Rutgers. They're now 17-7. They travel to Michigan tomorrow. It's 14-10. That game's tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on ESPN. And Purdue bounced back, got a win over Iowa last night, so now they're 23-2. They travel to Northwestern, who got a win over Ohio State last night. They're 17-7. That game's on Sunday at 2 o'clock on Big Ten Network. So if you're a Purdue fan, you can watch the Purdue game and then get ready to watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Following that starts, I think at 6:30. It's either 6 or 6:30. I think it's 6:30.
Okay.
On Fox, and that's between the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs. Which last I looked, the Eagles are slight favorites in the Super Bowl. That's who I'm rooting for as a Bronco fan.
No, I was going to ask
I don't like
predictions
Chiefs.
for the scores.
I'll say Eagles 30-24.
All right.
Just throwing something out there. Yeah, I'll be right, but we'll see.
Going to go 37-34 Chiefs.
Okay, I hope you're wrong.
We'll see if what the internet says is true come Sunday night.
I think if the Chiefs win this one, they might become America's least favorite team.
Yeah.
They've made Super Bowl 3 in the last 4 years. If they win, it'd be their second title in 4 years.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting Chiefs fatigue. I've had it for many years as a Bronco fan, but now everybody else is kind of hopping on the bandwagon with me here.
You know what? I'll let you know when my team even makes it to postseason.
Your team's made it to the playoffs since mine has, so. In NBA, LeBron James this week became the NBA's all-time leading scorer.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. He's played many, many years. He's been in the league since he's 18. Now he's 38, I believe, so if his math, it's 20 years.
Yeah.
He's still going strong, and I know the game's changed a lot since Michael Jordan played and guys before him, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who LeBron passed. So it's hard to rank. Everybody's got their opinion who's the greatest of all time. The game's changed so much, but like him or not, it's impressive what he's done. So.
Yes.
And then the NBA trade deadline went on this week, and one of the NBA's bigger names, Kevin Durant, got traded from Brooklyn to Phoenix. So, like always, you got a handful of teams going all in and giving up future draft picks and everything to try to win the title this year. So, and the Suns are one of those teams. Even the Pacers made a deal. So, not any huge names, but
sometimes you don't need huge names.
Right. Got a few tidbits this morning, not too many, but I found a couple.
Okay.
On this day in 1940, Tom and Jerry debuted on MGM. I knew it was old, but I didn't realize it was in the 40s.
I didn't either.
So I don't think they're making new ones of that still, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
In some ways,
You
shape,
got
or
kids,
form,
you
they
know better.
probably
You
are.
know better than me. So.
Well, I mean, they made the movie a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think actual cartoons are being currently made.
Series is probably streaming somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know which service, but.
That one there.
This day, 1961, the AFL's LA Chargers moved to San Diego. And then they moved back to LA just a few years ago in 2017.
Yeah.
So, money talks a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, we got some national days today. Today's National Cream Cheese Brownie Day. I don't know if I've ever had a cream cheese brownie, but I like brownies and I like cream cheese, so maybe I should try it.
Yeah.
It's National Umbrella Day. Hopefully you won't need it today, but I don't know.
You shouldn't. WSBT says maybe a lingering shower, so maybe.
It's also a Plimsoll Day. I had to look this up because I had no idea what it was talking about.
Okay.
It's a day dedicated to the man who made commercial sailing safer. Samuel Plimsoll. So.
All right.
I don't know a lot about sailing. So,
neither do I.
But those were the only 3 days that the website gave me today.
All right.
Maybe the professor will find some more for the training
The
folks.
professor hasn't been on it over a week.
All right.
He's got no voice.
All right, maybe he won't.
Randy
today.
and I might find
All right,
some
maybe
more.
you guys will dig up some more. So, but those are my only tidbits this morning. So.
All right. Well, Tanner, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Welcome back, Todd, now.
So upcoming events. We promoted this pretty heavily the last few weeks.
Yes.
The Daddy-Daughter Dance on the 18th at the Fulton County Community Center. Tickets are $15, 3rd grade through 6th grade, so it's always a great event. If you need to know more, find a Xi member and they can help you out with that. It's always a fun event in the community, and this next weekend after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Getting confused on my days here.
A week from tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're always great to help me out with that. Money news, down about 250 points. Basically, stocks rallied to start the new year, but there's some confusion out in the market now that stocks started higher, now they're lower because the Fed's still trying to decide what to do with inflation, and looks like there's some more rate increases happening this year, and just stay tuned. There'll be some up days and some down days coming forward. First Federal Savings Bank is open from 8:30 to 5 today. Tomorrow, 8:30 to noon. You can always bank online with our mobile app, which is free to download. Our ATM's open 24/7. We offer Simply Free checking accounts, Simply Free business checking accounts, and when you open a new checking account, you can get a free gift, which is a smartphone thermometer. I know that Tanner came through last week, and
He did. I was surprised.
Have you used that this week at all?
Not needed to, but we did test it, just kind of showing the family what it was, because they all see me hook this thing into my phone, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Come here."
Your kids
They were a
probably
little
like that.
scared, and I was like, "Look," and they went, "Oh man, now you can take our temperature quicker."
Yeah. So when they're saying, "I don't feel good today, I don't want to go to school," you can
Yeah,
pop that out and 98.6.
you're fine. Go.
Well, that's good. You didn't need to use it.
Yep.
We offer commercial lending for business. Contact Lindy Breeden. We also have financial services available. Tax time is always good to look at things like that. Mark Blubaugh and Brian Bell can help you out with information about your retirement, 401ks, IRAs, things like that. We're going to be offering a new, hope this is public information right now, offering a new real estate purchase program coming up.
Yep.
Okay.
There'll be more information featured by Tanner on social media.
Done.
So look for that. So it's a good thing to, if you're interested in buying a home, we're going to give you some credit for basically to lower the closing costs and help you out with your home purchase. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
Got it, and that makes us legal.
Thank you. Did the right number of nines. We want to welcome back Janet Showley. I'll get the name right again. She's Executive Director of the Fulton County Animal Adoption and Education Center.
You got it that time.
Thank you very much. Slow learner here, it seems like. That name is pretty significant because usually you think like a shelter or adoption center, but there's so much more that you offer in Fulton County for our community and to take care of animals and basically in our community. And as we were talking before we started the show, you have a great passion for this.
I do.
And why don't you talk a little bit about how you got your passion for what you do with this?
Yeah. So ever since I was little, I've just loved animals. I'm a very empathetic person, so whenever I saw an abandoned or hurt animal, I was always bringing it home. Ducks. We had ducks in the bathtub at one point. Injured mice, and not just cats and dogs. I stress my parents out a little bit more than just cats and dogs.
So you're a full-service, compassionate person.
That is
basically.
right. Yeah.
Squirrels, mice, things like that. Right?
Yes, yes. So I always cared about animals a lot. Went to DePaul University thinking I wanted to do pre-dentistry. At that time, I also volunteered at the local shelter there in Greencastle. And that's where I decided maybe dentistry wasn't for me, and I really liked the nonprofit sector, animal welfare. So I finished my degree at DePaul and got a job in Indianapolis. And then after that, I came back home here to Rochester.
And the rest is history.
Yep, here I am.
You've done a great job here in Fulton County with the Animal Adoption and Education Center. You have a great team of people that work with you. You share the statistics with us regularly sometimes, and it's amazing just the number of animals that run through the Adoption and Education Center.
Yes.
Why don't you share some information about that?
Yeah, definitely. I like numbers. And in animal welfare, it's really important that you have the statistics so you see where you're going and where you've been. And we want to make sure we're improving every year, or at least attempting to improve. Some things are out of our control. We can't always control how many animals are coming into us, but we can, whatever does come in, we try our best to get out into loving homes or rescue partners or whatever the outcome may be. But 2022, last year, I kind of call it our getting back to normal year. Pre-COVID is kind of our normal numbers of what I compare it to the past few years, because COVID has messed up animal welfare and our numbers too. So as far as intakes, we took in 973 animals for the year of 2022. Compared to 2019, we took in 1,054. So
We're almost right back on pace then, aren't we?
almost there, yeah. And that comes out to be about 81 animals a month. So people don't realize how many animals we really do get in a month or a year. It's significant.
Now, are those through abandonment, drop-offs from animal control? How do you
Yeah,
get animals?
so it can be stray by public,
Okay.
stray by animal control, an owner surrender, or transferred in, which we don't do a whole lot of. That would be from like pulling from another
Okay.
shelter who's full, or cats or dogs born in care.
Okay.
So those are the ways we get animals into the facility. As far as outcomes, we had a record number of cats adopted last year, 486.
Well, congratulations. That's
Yes.
a huge number to me,
Thank
it
you.
seems like.
Yeah. So we have been pushing the last few years to try to increase our cat adoption numbers, just because we get so many of them in. I mean, 648 compared to 325 dogs. So almost double the amount of cats we're getting in. So we have to be a little bit creative with marketing cats for adoption. We've got an off-site adoption location at the Warsaw PetSmart, and we're also looking to open one at the Smith's Farm Store here in town.
That's great.
So we'll
More
have,
opportunity for people.
yes, and we'll have cages there that people can go in anytime that they're open to adopt a cat or kitten.
Now, I know you have programs to try to control the population, too.
Absolutely.
And that's one of your main missions, it seems
Yes.
like. Yeah.
And I worked in Indianapolis at a spay-neuter clinic, so spay-neuter has always been very important to me. And it just makes sense, you tackle the issue at, preventing the litter, preventing the
Start of the
population.
source of the problem.
Exactly. So it is very important. So we offer low-cost spay-neuter transport right now with a partner vet in Noblesville. They come to our parking lot, pick up animals. It can be cats or dogs, and they get them to their facility to be spayed and neutered and bring them back the same evening. So we're trying to make it affordable, accessible, just creating different programs for people to take advantage of.
So that's great. You're trying to start the source of the problem, but also that's not always successful. You do have lots of intakes, and why don't you go over a couple more numbers that you have?
Yeah. So another record we had was cats reclaimed by owner, which is great. 24 cats. That's, I think, when cats enter our facility, I think there's only a 2% chance of them getting reclaimed by owner. So we always want to see that number increasing. So it's great to reunite those cats with their owners.
So is that part of the education center of your mission that you accomplished?
Yes. We always encourage people to microchip, especially cats, with that low chances of being reunited. But also we use our social media a lot. Anytime we get a stray animals in, we post on Facebook a picture of it if we think it might be owned. And that's been very successful in reuniting pets with their owners. So if you don't already follow our Facebook page, definitely follow us, because you never know if you have pets, if they might go missing.
And if you're ever interested in a dog or cat,
Absolutely,
there's
yes.
always great postings and pictures on there
And
to
videos.
tug at your heart and be part of the solution.
Yes, yes. And then another record number we had was 76 dogs transferred to rescue. So that's great that we have rescue partners to partner with. Those are usually dogs or cats. We sometimes transfer cats to rescue, but those are typically animals who are injured beyond our resources, maybe have behavior issues beyond our resources, animals that are going to do best getting out of the shelter system quickly. So these are typically foster-based rescues that we work with. So we are seeing an increase in dogs and cats being more injured. Maybe people can't afford veterinary care. These times are tough.
That is a big issue, yes.
And I feel like we're seeing more of that, just access to care and affordability, not just in our community. This is a nationwide trend.
And you're addressing that through your vaccine clinics, too.
Yes.
So
So that's
talk about that a
something.
little bit.
Yeah, that's something we implemented. 2021, we started in the middle of the year, about May. So last year was our first full year of doing vaccine clinic. We do it about every 2 to 3 weeks on a Sunday for 3 hours. We have a veterinarian from the Bourbon Vet Clinic, Dr. Collins, and we also hired our second veterinarian, Dr. Rodriguez. She's out of Warsaw. So they come in and see animals in our community. People make appointments on our website. They're affordable. Our vaccine prices, it's preventative care. We can't see sick or injured animals, but we're hoping that even just coming in to get those vaccines, flea and tick preventative, heartworm testing, having a conversation with an accredited licensed veterinarian will kind of open that door to access to care for these animals.
And I imagine that probably helps cut down on the abandonments also, too. If you have healthy animals,
Right.
they're more likely to stay in a family situation.
Right, that's what we're hoping. Along with some other programs we have, like the pet food pantry, where people, if they're in a financial situation and need help with pet food, we have a pet food pantry too.
So I keep interrupting your flow of your
That's
statistics.
okay.
Let's make sure we get to all those.
Yeah, just the other thing that I wanted to mention always is our save rate. That's kind of what is a big gauge for how well we're doing. Being a no-kill shelter is classified as being higher than 90% save rate. So we have been above 90% for both cats and dogs since 2016.
Is the Fulton County Center unique in the state or the area that the save rate's so high?
There are becoming more and more shelters achieving that with more resources and social media and transferring between facilities. But I would say for a facility our size, I think we achieved it earlier than maybe some others that are our size.
Congratulations on that, too.
Thank you. And it's really a group effort. Our community is so wonderful. The Community Foundation has given us a lot of resources financially to help implement some of these programs. We've got the community who is just animal loving and very supportive. Our new building, when we built that, they were very supportive in helping us get that up to double our capacity. So that helps if we don't have to run out of space and make some tough decisions. So we haven't had to do that in quite some time.
I know you have a great team also of dedicated staff and also very dedicated volunteers too.
Yes, yes.
That
Our
makes
staff
it-
and volunteers are wonderful. So our save rate then for 2022 was 94.3 for cats and 98.2 for dogs, which was almost identical to 2019. So we are right where we need to be, headed in the right direction.
It's great success.
So looking forward to 2023, the trends, just for the month of January, was a little bit surprising. And again, these are kind of national trends, but we're seeing a quite significant increase of dogs and puppies. We've had the most litters of puppies we've had in probably since I've been here, since 2016. I think we had 5 or 6 litters of puppies surrendered to us. So what that's telling me is probably people aren't having those access to low-cost spay neuter as they have in years past. I think probably due to COVID and maybe some financial restraints with the economy. So that's one thing that we're going to be looking at this year, is trying to get creative with more spay neuter, especially for dogs. If your dog is not spayed and neutered and you do need help, you can always give us a call and we'll do our best to find whatever resources we need to get that done for you. So total dog intake was 31 compared to January of last year was 16. So double. Just for the month.
And like you said, it's unique to have litters of puppies too.
Entire litters, yeah. 5 or 6 puppies in a litter.
Not just one, just the entire litter. Okay.
Yes. And for most of those weren't the entire litters. They had litters of 11 puppies, and they were able to rehome maybe half of them in a weekend. Yeah. So we're keeping up on the outcomes, though. Of course, puppies are highly adoptable, but you got to keep in mind too that sometimes that displaces some of the other dogs we have at our facility who are going to end up waiting later because those puppies are getting adopted. So
And there's always cause and effect. It seems like.
yeah, so people say, "Oh, you're getting puppies; they're going to get adopted in a minute." Well,
Yeah,
yes,
but
what about these other long-term residents who've been waiting months, who are also equally great dogs, just not puppies? And puppies grow up to be adult dogs too, so it's just something to keep in mind. So keeping up on outcomes, so we haven't had to euthanize for space or anything like that. We haven't done that in a long time, but we are asking people just to be mindful of the importance of spay neuter and controlling population.
So, in order to, say if a family is interested in a cat or a dog, you have a process that they go through
Yeah.
to make sure there's a great match. Why don't you talk about that process for a minute or two?
We ask you to fill out an application, and it's right on our website. It's very easy to submit. You just hop on our website. It's fultoncoanimalcenter.org. And you can also see all the dogs and cats we have available for adoption as well. So you fill out an application. You do not have to select the specific cat or dog if you don't want to. If you just want to come in and look and meet them all before you decide, you can do that. And then once we receive your application, we get back to you pretty quickly, usually within the same day. We'll review it, and a staff member will call to set up an appointment for you to come meet the animal of your choice or to meet multiple animals. And then you come in and meet the animal, and you can potentially adopt the same day.
That's great. And also you have like a trial adoption service too.
Yeah, so you can either adopt the same day or we have a foster to adopt, which is a 2-week trial. Make sure it's a good fit before you pay the adoption fee and make it final.
That's great. You're really trying to serve the community. We're talking with Janet Showley, Executive Director of the Fulton County Animal Adoption and Education Center. I'm trying to repeat it to make sure I get it right each time.
Yeah,
You're getting better at it, yeah. So you have some events coming up, some fundraising opportunities. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
So what we have going on right now is My Furry Valentine. We know Valentine's Day is coming up. So what we're trying to do is have people, majority of people aren't ready to adopt right now per se, but maybe want to help in another way. So they can sponsor the adoption fee of an animal of their choice, or we can assign the adoption fee to an animal maybe that's been there the longest. So what we're hoping for is all of our adoptable animals will be sponsored for the week of Valentine's Day from February 14th through the 18th.
And how would one go about sponsoring if they want to?
They can mail a check with a note. You can call us. You can take credit card over the phone. You can stop in person and pick out an animal that you want to sponsor. So multiple ways.
What's great to me, it seems like you removed all the barriers for basically making it easy for adopting and then the care of the animals and then the fundraising, and we've made it easy for people.
That's the goal. Yes.
And you have a lot of volunteers too, but you're always looking for more volunteers.
Yeah, for sure. I have a staff member who, during COVID it was difficult with volunteers. That was one area we had some issue with. People were at home, there were some stay-at-home orders and, transmission. So now that things are slowly getting back to normal, we're revamping our volunteer opportunities. One of my staff members kind of been put into the role of volunteer coordinator. So we'll have some new and exciting things coming out for volunteers, along with what our normal volunteer opportunities are, like walking dogs, helping with morning chores and caring for the animals in the morning. Maybe some more off-site events, helping with the Smith's Farm Store with our cat adoptions there. So we'll have some more exciting stuff this year.
And you have a craft show coming up in the next couple months too.
Yes, so that's our first big fundraiser of the year. It's our 6th annual, so this is the 6th time we've done it. And we invite vendors from the community or surrounding communities to have a craft show. We are still looking for vendors. If anybody does crafts and wants a spot, they can email me. It's just Janet at FultonCoAnimalCenter.org. The craft show is April 22nd from 10 to 3 at the Fulton County Historical Museum.
So if you're a crafter out there and want to get exposed to more people in the public and help the animal center out, give Janet a call.
Yep, we'll have maybe 35 vendors. Ben's Pretzels comes every year, so some people just come for the pretzels sometimes. And then we just ask for a $1 admission to come into the show. That dollar comes to us. That's kind of the fundraiser part. And then some other potential fundraisers that we have that you all are the first to hear about.
Breaking news.
Yes, breaking news. We might do a shelter slumber party. So, yes.
That sounds like fun.
There's a national group doing this in a few weeks in March, but it kind of coincides with our spring break, so we decided not to do it during that time. But I think we're going to do something similar maybe in May, where we will have teams that are sponsored and will sleep in the kennels. You have to be there for 24 hours. And it's kind of like you get a day in the life of a shelter animal, in a kennel. We have a meet and greet room for cats that people will be sleeping in too.
So there are age requirements for that, or?
Probably. We haven't gotten to the specifics
no details.
yet.
We'll get
Keep
those.
an eye on our Facebook page, but it'll also be very public. We'll have lots of social media going where people that are in the kennels will be videotaping themselves, and you can see what it's like being in a kennel for 24 hours. So.
Well, thank you, Janet. We've been talking with Janet Showley, the Executive Director of the Fulton County Animal Adoption Education Center. All the great things that are happening out there and all your contributions to the community. We are truly blessed by what your team's doing out there. Anything you want to add?
Thank you so much.
That we haven't covered, that we should cover?
I think we do. Just, we have some great dogs and cats waiting for adoption. So check out our website and stop in. We're happy to see you and introduce you to everybody and hopefully take home an animal.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Trivia time with Tanner's kind of trick question here a
Confusing
little
question.
bit.
Yeah.
According to the American Kennel Club, which of these 4 dog breeds has the highest rankings for adoptions? Beagles, Bulldogs, Poodles, or Corgis? Paul, what do you think?
Before the queen died, I'd say corgis. But I'm going to go with poodles.
Poodles, okay. Janet, what do you think?
I was thinking poodles, just because anything mixed with a poodle is very popular these days. They like the hypoallergenic. But then again, I think a beagle is probably the long-term more popular breed, so I'm going to say beagle.
Your first thought was right. You're the expert. The poodles.
Was it poodle?
Yeah,
Sorry.
poodle. That's okay.
Nice try.
I mean,
Was beagle next?
Yeah,
Okay.
right behind it.
yeah, see, Janet's like 3 for 3 today then almost.
Yeah.
That's
Can't
why
stop
you're the
her.
expert.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Well, good job, Paul.
Thank you.
You got it right. So we're going to close with words of wisdom. Dogs are not our whole lives, but they make our lives whole.
Those are great words of wisdom. Thank you so much, Todd.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll talk to you guys again next week.
Yes.